It's a delight to be here because we are witnessing what has been a very long sought goal for this particular fire department and for this municipality. Today we have a very special guest, and that guest is Congressman James P. McGovern, who has been the congressman for this district for many, many years. He's no stranger to public safety. He's no stranger to helping communities. He has been somebody who's been in constant contact with the town of Oxford during the whole COVID pandemic, but long before that, I want to tell you the type of person this congressman is. I had said to the rest of the town of Oxford in a memo that when I first got here, our interim chief, John Belanger, came to me and said, I want to show you something that's very important to this department. And he brought me down here and he showed me these air packs, and he explained to me how old they were and how they were actually, in his view, placing all of our firefighters in a potentially riskful situation. I had committed to him that I would work with him initially to try a grant, and if we weren't successful, where's John? I said we will make sure we try to incorporate it in our capital plan, and we'll try to generate whatever revenues we got to do to make this happen. Having said that, the first time around, after John had completed the application, we went to Congressman McGovern's office. We were late in the application process, and hence we were not successful the first time around. But the congressman said, listen, don't give up, do it again, go forward, and get in touch with me the next time around. And so we now have Chief McDonald, who actually improved on that application, brought in a little bit of outside consulting experience to enhance it, even though it's pretty black and white. We need these to keep our people safe when they go in and fight a fire. And this town gets called upon for mutual aid very consistently because of the fact we are a full-time professional fire department. And having said that, that means that our risk is, I think, that much more greater than any community when we're going in, especially when we're asking our people to go in and offer mutual assistance. So we applied, and this time around, I heard that Congressman McGovern was in Worcester, and he was there for a keynote address to the Worcester Tourism Bureau. I went there, and I told John and I told Chief McDonald, give me the application. I'm gonna go talk to the congressman early this time. And so he was up, he gave his speech. I happened to be in the back of the audience. I saw him leaving, and I said, oh man, I haven't spoken to him yet. Ran out to the parking lot. He actually had an important call with the Speaker of the House, and I know he was in the car. Gladys Rodriguez was with him, who's been with him a long time, his chief of staff for the region. And I asked her to roll the window down, and I gave the application while he was on the phone. He was good enough and patient enough to let that happen. And I said to her, please have him call and write a letter. He did exactly that. And now, you know, as we have all been caught up with the COVID pandemic, this was wonderful, wonderful news to hear for us. So I want to introduce Jim. He's just going to say a few words, and I think the chief will say a few words after that, and I appreciate it. So let's give him a round of applause, even though we got to listen. They got to go. Why don't we take a moment? Why don't we take a moment? don't think it's a truck.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, let me thank Jen for her very nice introduction. Anybody who works with her knows that you can never say no to anything she requests. She's not just a town manager, she's a force, right? So we appreciate her leadership. And I appreciate all the nice words, but you know what? I'm really here to say to thank you to all of you. I mean, you're the ones who are protecting this community. You're our first responders. I tell people all the time that Homeland Security really is hometown security. You protect the people of this community. And the least we can do is to make sure you have the very best equipment. And so these air packs, which look like antiques, but they're 15 years old, are no longer reliable. And as was pointed out to me, that, you know, it's not just the big fires you have to worry about. It could be a small home fire. If your equipment's not working, it could be deadly, not only for the person you're trying to rescue, but for the firefighter. And so, through the Assistance to Firefighters grant, John, thank you for your application, writing the application, and Chief McDonald, thank you for your leadership. They applied, and we advocated for them, and so we're here today to announce a $200,000 grant to get current, state-of-the-art breathing packs. And look, some of you heard me say this. This program is really personal to me because it came in the aftermath of the terrible fire in Worcester, which killed 6 firefighters. And I knew some of those firefighters personally, and I knew many of the men on the fire department at the time who fought that fire. And it became clear to me that the fire department in Worcester at that time did not have the best first-rate, state-of-the-art equipment. And I think that's unconscionable. So, look, I appreciate the nice words, but I'm merely here to say thank you to you. And we hope to expand the program, and I hope you will apply for many more things. I don't know if you need a new truck, or you need whatever you need. Let me know. We will go to bed. But this is important stuff, and so I'm happy to be here to make the official announcement, and look forward to working with you in the weeks and months and years ahead. Thank you.
And thank you, Congressman McGovern, for all of your advocacy. As I was saying earlier, and I'll say it again, you and your colleagues in Congress have been strong advocates for this program, working with the Fire Chiefs Association of Massachusetts to keep us in the forefront to make sure that we're safe, and we do appreciate that. And Town Manager Callahan, we very much appreciate the fact that for you, the priority has always been life safety for the firefighters and the citizens of the community, and you're doing everything you can within the tight budgetary constraints that we face to get us the equipment that we need, and this is the first step right here. So we on behalf of the men and women of the Oxford Fire and Emergency Services, we express our deepest thanks and appreciation for your advocacy and concern. My father, many of you who know me know my father was in the fire service when he started. Furnishings were made of horsehair, stuffing, and wood. And today, the furnishings and things that go into homes, they're made with carbon-based composite material that burns hotter, it burns faster, it burns quicker, and it burns that much more deadly. So years ago, in my dad's day and age, they could go into a burning home with a handkerchief wetted down over their face. Today, you can't do that. The average citizen when they face a fire in their home, their place of sanctuary becomes a place of terror and a very unfamiliar scene for them. And it's our job to be able to go in and help them to save their life. We need these specialized tools and equipment. Right now, the average cost of outfitting a firefighter, when you consider the self-contained breathing apparatus, the protective equipment that we wear, the portable radios that we need to communicate with each other, just that individual outfit is getting close to $10,000 per person. So when you have a community that has needs for the schools, has needs for the Department of Public Works and the police department and the fire, it gets very hard to have the resources, monetary-wise, to do that. Makes the manager's job that much harder when she's got to consider the priorities. So any help we get from the federal government is a big boost to us, and we just appreciate the advocacy all the way around. And I personally appreciate the support of the men and women of the Oxford Fire and Emergency Services and the people of this fine town who you have entrusted into our care. So thank you very much on our behalf.
Well, I'm just going to conclude because I know the Congressman has a fairly busy schedule. I do want to acknowledge that Megan Troiano, who is our Vice Chairwoman of the Select Board, is here. She, yes, thank you, Megan. This is a very heartfelt grant because her husband comes to work every day, and she has been a strong advocate and formerly a member of this department as well, and so I know it's very meaningful to her. And I'm speaking for her because she said she didn't want to say anything, but she knows how important this is, and I want to say it for her today. So I want to thank everybody who's here today. I want to say, once again, we are really, really grateful for this, and it's really just a happy moment as the town manager. And I know I speak for everybody in this department. It's a godsend for us to have this. So I want to say thank you for it too. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming, especially you and Gus.
Congressman McGovern, on behalf of the men and women of the Oxford Fire and Emergency Services, please accept these two T-shirts. One is representative of our local, the union, the International Association of Firefighters, and then also one for the Department of these are our Fighting Cancer T-shirts.
You know, my wife works for an organization called the Prevent Cancer Foundation.
There you go. That's perfect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.